Yay!
Hi, I'm so excited.
Oh, you're here. The
We are
Savor series is here.
it's here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you,
Happy
my friend.
2023. And welcome everyone to the Savor series with Miki Sean and Natalie Jobity. I'm so excited to do this with you, Natalie. I know we've said that on social media as we've been promoting this, but
Yeah.
thought I'd say it to you live again.
Yes, I mean, like, we just have this energy together, and we vibe up each other, and we just, this is kind of like how this was born, right? We're like, how can
Yes.
we do this more so people can participate in our
Yes.
vibing and riffing and
Yes.
intelligent conversations?
It feels so good. It's so much fun whenever we talk. And so I'm so glad to be connected with you and to talk about this topic. It makes me think about, was it about 2 months ago during our, every other month calls,
Hmm.
mentioned the word savor.
And
And
your face.
yes, I said, my mouth is watering. I was like, this, even you saying the word, I said, tell me more. What
Yeah.
is this?
And the funny thing is, so for me, like, why is that word even in my memory or in my on my radar? It had to do with an event I was participating in where it was talking about the energies of the seasons and autumn. And I don't even really remember, honestly, Kishan, but something that word, when I hear it too, I feel the essence of the word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I feel the essence of it. It's such a good word in that way. But
Yeah.
before we go deeper with that, I wanted
Yeah.
to introduce ourselves. So you can go first, please.
Okay, people, all those of you who are joining us or recording, seeing the recording, I am Natalie Jobity. I am the Brilliance Unveiler. I'm a leadership coach and best-selling author, and I help empower women to own their brilliance, magnify the impact, and lead unapologetically and unstoppably in their arena. And it's a privilege and an honor to do this work. And I work with many phenomenal women, and the reason, I'll just say this real quickly, the reason why savoring is even a topic for me is because of the women I work with and myself, where we tend to be kind of high achieving driven women, and we don't know how to savor very well.
Whew. I had to learn. I had to learn how to savor. Thank you so much. I'm Keyshawn Hughes. I'm a certified neuroscience-based coach and neuro leadership consultant. I founded my company, Neuro Savvy Leadership. And with my company, we provide practical, proven neuroscience-based leadership principles, coaching, and consulting to help organizations build their engagement and their retention numbers, and to generally help people feel healthier and happier at work.
Mhm.
My own leadership journey is founded deeply within the brand. I've experienced burnout and I've
Mhm.
experienced the highs of healing and recovering from that. And now I've been coaching leaders in the workplace across lots of different organizations. I've been blessed and honored to be able to be welcomed in to do that, to coach leaders one-on-one, to do trainings on how to break out from burnout, how to be well at work, how to
Mhm.
invigorate belonging for yourself and others in the workplace for the last 3 years during this whole pandemia period. And I've learned a lot. And as I've been learning and sharing, I've grown a lot. And so I
Mhm.
want to be able to use this series to just share what I've learned. I'm still on the journey of leadership. And I'm just so thankful to be able to do it with you, Natalie, to connect with you and do it and have this safe
Yeah.
space to talk about these vulnerable topics.
Yeah, and I so love that you talk. I mean, you're so much better at talking about yourself than I am. I always like to go, I always like just go there and then like, okay, I should say more. But like what it made me think of is like we're all on a leadership journey. Like we're all
Yes.
of us on a journey. Like I think the Unveil Way and
Mm,
that name of my business
yeah.
was given to me. And I'm realizing that it's because it's a journey. It's like not a one and done kind of thing. We become leaders, and
Yeah.
as leaders, we have to grow and develop and refine certain aspects of our persona or our
Mhm.
brand or our personality or whatever parts of our being that need strengthening to be the best leaders we can be and to have the greatest impact that we can have. And
Yes.
for me, like my heartbeat, I mean, I've had several iterations from corporate life to my own business as an image consultant, which was a whole great experience. And
Yeah.
now with this company, the Unveil Way, understanding that like what I really care about and my heart, I think I've always cared about this, but now it's very clear. It's like the impact, my impact, but the impact of the women I work with. Like I feel like, so I can talk about my book real quickly. So
Yes,
my
do.
book, It's Your Time to Shine, Girl,
Yes.
that was just published a couple of months ago on Amazon. part of my reason for writing that. Yes, yes, she said. Actually, you know what's crazy? I have no copies right now because what I have to do
I
is
keep it on my desk. It's beautiful.
I
Just
don't normally.
alone is a motivator for me, particularly on
Mm.
challenging days. So you've done so
Mm.
well with this work. So
Oh,
well.
thank you, Kishan. Well, anyway, so the reason I wrote that book was because I wanted women, regardless of what they do and how they feel about themselves, to understand that we all have shine in us. We all have not just potential, the beings and the raw organic strengths and expertise and skills and all of that that we may not always recognize as important,
Yeah.
and that we all are meant to shine as stars, right? So, and part of us being able to shine is knowing how to have a better work-life balance,
Yes.
and to learn how to savor.
Mm.
That's how we get into the conversation for today, because the savoring part, and we're going to talk about this in four different installments.
Yes.
Today we're focusing on self-care,
Yes.
which I love it because it's the beginning of the year, Kashawn,
Yes.
and the new year, we have new intentions, and it's like, I think for all of us, some component of self-care should be part of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a part of some coaching collectives and consulting collectives. And that's the conversation we've been having for since, I would say, end of November, coming into this year, and even this week, reiterating what our goals are, considering what those will be, not just for the present moment, for the quarter, but for the year, for this year of 2023. And I
Mm-hmm.
love the communities that I'm in because each of them has stressed the importance of not only setting professional goals, business goals, but also personal ones. Also
Absolutely.
personal goals. That's so important. And I know it sounds simple, but for me as a person, like you said, typically you work with high achieving women, and that's how I identified myself. I
Mm.
identify myself as an anxious achiever. And so those are the people that I coach. Like I'm achieving, but I'm anxious about it. Okay.
I
So
like that. I
yes,
like that nuance.
anxiety driving my success, driving my motivation, wanting to achieve, wanting to have success. And just when I pull those things apart, anxiety doesn't feel good. That's not self-care oriented. It's a part of who
Yeah,
I am. But
yeah.
how can I treat that? How can I, when I'm thinking about personal and professional goals, how can I
Mhm.
have that in mind and have my health at the foundation? That is it for me. Being able
I
to
love that.
always thinking about health.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So what I do for the beginning of the year, starting in the end of last year, but I start thinking of what's my theme, what's my word
Yes.
going to be for
Ooh,
the.
good.
So I always do that, and so it's funny. I was sharing with my newsletter subscribers that I was like, "What's my word?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, I know my word. My word has got to be savor because it's been coming up consistently, and it's a way for me to practice what I'll be talking about and
Yes.
what I'm written about in my book a little bit. And what I've even shared in other podcasts. I'm like, why? Like for me to get better and be more aware of when I'm not savoring and what it's doing, the cost of that, and then realizing the benefit and the rewards I get, especially from a self-care perspective, when I do savor.
Yes. Ooh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
let's make sure pivot.
Yes, I want to know what is savoring. So
What is savoring? We're like,
you touched on it. You said we talked about the thrill that the word gives us as we say it, the essence of the word. But by
yeah.
definition, and what you discuss in your book in even more detail, how do you define savoring?
Yeah, so savoring to me is experiential. It's
Ah,
it's it's a so one of the words that comes up when you look at Google the word, you'll
yeah.
see relish. And
Ooh.
a lot of times it's associated with eating
Ah,
and drinking, and
yes.
people think of savoring food, but
Yes.
it's so much more than that, right? It's like,
Yes.
so you and I understand that savoring is about relishing,
Mm,
experiencing, embodying, integrating the
mm,
experiences that are part of our everyday lives,
yes.
especially the good ones that we so often like don't even notice
Mhm.
and pass on by so quickly.
Yes. That is so important that you said that. First of all, I wrote down those words: experiential, integrating, embodying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I just want to share a neuroscience point based on what you just said,
Mm.
how we pass on by. We are designed as human beings to be in automatic mode in, they say, an unconscious or, automated state 90 to 95% of our day. 95
Mm.
up to 95% of our day, we are just habitually
Autopilot.
going through the motions. And that is for our benefit, it's for our survival, because the brain is doing a whole lot of things. It's every second taking in about 11 million bits of data, and it
Wow.
breaks it down to about 40 to 50 so that we can function, so that we can sit here and have a conscious conversation.
Yeah.
Just knowing that's just 5 to 10% of us is conscious, is in the moment, is present, is aware of what's happening present
Yeah.
for us. So when she says we just pass on by any experience, we're designed to do that. So we have to be intentional about
Intentional.
savoring or just noticing,
Yes.
demonstrating, and being embodied as we're having conversations, experiences from day to
Experiences.
day. Yes.
It makes me think this is what Kishon and I do all the time, y'all. We just
Yes.
cannot go off each other. Like, this is what is natural. This is the whole point.
Yes.
But like, it makes me think of when you said that, like, our brain is like, so we're designed to go on automatic pilot.
Yes.
And so the reason why it's hard for us to savor is because it's not our default mode of being.
Ooh, yes, your language is always so on point. Ooh, I'm writing this down again. It's not our default.
No, yeah,
it's not our default, and that's okay.
It's not our default. So
yes.
We have to relearn the way we operate and be and experience the world and be present to the world to truly savor and get those benefits for our brain, for our body, for our mind, our spirit.
Yes.
We have to relearn behaviors.
And the beauty of that is we can do that at any time. So the way that neuroscience explains that is neuroplasticity.
Yes.
People think that we stop learning or that learning can slow down and we can become less able to learn and grow and change as we age. That is false. Research has shown that you can learn, grow, and change and rewire your habits, rewire your mind, your brain, your way of doing things into your 90s. As long as you are intentional about it and you practice it.
That is so encouraging. I think a lot of people, you need to say that again.
Yes. So neuroplasticity research has shown that we can change, we can rewire our habits, we can learn new ways of being into our 90s. So this does not have an age cutoff.
Yeah.
You continually be learning and growing and moving towards your goals, achieving your goals, experiencing and then savoring the success of them.
Yes, that's
your life. This does not have to stop or slow down. It does not.
Yes. Okay. So the Savoring success part is going to be our next one in 2 weeks from now. But so for today, in terms of, I have a great example because I was literally just doing it.
Yes.
So in terms of self-care,
yes,
one of the things I love doing, I've always loved water. I love water. And so the easiest way for me to get water every day is to get my little shower in, right? So I get out with the water. Well, I drink a lot of water too. Like, I drink water, but like having water being on me or around me, whatever, is like, so it does so much for my nervous system, for my being, right? So when I take a shower, I've always loved my showers, and I take longer showers than most people. But I was realizing recently, like, because what I tend to do in the showers is start to get my brain goes into like, okay, ideate and create. So I'm in my head.
Oh, I see. Yes.
I always thought, because it's true, like I would say to people, I have the best ideas when I'm in the shower. And so I thought of that as like the thing of it, like I'm getting all these creative ideas because my brain is able to relax more under that. But what I realized even greater than that is now, like, I have showers at night to calm me down better for night. So when I have my nightly showers, I've been enjoying the shower. I have been literally feeling the water on my skin and feeling the pressure, like a little mini massage on my back. And like, really, truly, for the first time, perhaps in a long time, or maybe, I don't know if ever, I don't know if that's even the thing, savoring what shower really means to me, having a shower, the water, and experiencing the water
of that
on my body.
Yes.
So simple.
How simple, but how profound. I just think of the miraculous nature of who we are as human beings as it relates to water in particular. Our brains are made of 70 to 80% water, and water is so powerful. It is cleansing, it is healing, and this is something that I do when I'm intentional about it. I speak over my water because studies
Oh,
have shown, there was a Japanese scientist, and it's a major study, that when he spoke positive words over water,
what?
they crystallized with beautiful shapes. And then when he spoke negative words over the water, they
Mm.
had very ugly, grotesque shapes. So this has been documented, the power of positivity, of being intentional about speaking. Particularly, we are made of water. So when you think
Right.
about it, not just speaking into a cup of water before you
But the
drink it,
water that's going into us and the water that's already in us.
and the water that is surrounding us in the shower, in the tub. So that is a way that I now practice self-care, when I can remember, when I can be
So,
intentional.
so Kishan, what you literally are going like, what are you doing?
Yes. Oh, thank you for this water. Thank you so much. Allow this water to heal my body. I'm feeling under the weather. Can you please, water, please,
Ah,
go within me and help right what's wrong. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Help me
I
feel
love
better.
that.
Thank you so much for your healing properties. Just something specific and short and simple and sweet. I do that when I'm making my tub. I love to do spiritual baths. And so I make them
Oh,
very beautiful. I put rose petals in them. I play music, healing sounds by neural beats.
yeah,
I might play a sermon, or I might listen to spiritual music, or any kind of music really that is happy, that is,
yeah.
the water will take on those characteristics. And so as I'm immersed in the water, I am doing such powerful things for my mind, body, and spirit.
I love
I
that.
want to check in with the audience. We have people commenting. Hello, Imani. Hello, Haroldine. Thank you both so much for joining. Thank you. This is how we do. I was like, I had to take a breath, and I'm like, let me say hi to everyone. I want to read their comments. Imani says, really enjoying this discussion. Definitely want to relish in more experiences this year. Tell us
Mm,
how. So as you've been listening, Imani, if you're still there, could you comment as you've been listening to us? We're talking about just something daily, our daily routine of cleansing ourselves. We either bath or shower, and how we've learned to be intentional and relish those. Could you share something that you possibly want to relish in more experiences this year?
mm-hmm.
And then I want to speak to Haroldine. She says, my weakness is that intentionality. And as we
Mm,
shared, uh, autopilot is our default. So we can remove any sense of hardness or shame or disappointment with ourselves as
yeah.
not being intentional. Our bodies want to survive. That's the default survival mode. But as we're talking about savoring, we're entering into another realm of existence, right?
A more evolved realm, a
Yes.
more present minded, a more growth centered realm of being. And that's,
Yes.
speaking of, because you both work with leaders and upcoming leaders, and as you grow and grow older, but not just older, wiser,
Wiser.
you
Yes.
start to
Better.
you start right start to you start to understand certain things better about your life and yourself. And
Yeah.
so yes, this whole idea of savoring is not a base instinct thing. It's a higher level, higher order
Yes.
desire, let's say,
Yes.
yeah, or intention. So to
Mhm.
even begin to have an awareness of, I need to savor, you have to be already on a growth path, right?
Yes.
You can't be
Yes.
thinking about savoring when you're in survival mode. You're not thinking about savoring.
No. No, we're not. We're not. We're not thinking about savoring. And so I think with my own personal development journey, becoming a coach, I coach myself, as I shared in that example. Like, I coach my water. I coach things that are in my environment, because when I think about self-care, it's both internal and external. It's
Yeah.
environmental, and then I'm caring for what's inside of me. I think the word self-care is used a lot, and some people can feel like it's overutilized, but I'm hoping that through this conversation, we're talking about how to really embody self-care in simple, specific, but very deeply powerful.
Healing, yeah, and powerful ways. And I can't see the comments, so you'll have to shout them out for me.
Yes, okay, I will. I will.
But what
Oh,
I was thinking, go ahead, go ahead.
Haroldine said, wow, I never thought about preparing my water. Well, thank you. There you go. I'm
I
so
never thought
glad.
about it either, Arlene. Me too. I was like, because I
Yes.
drink so much water. I'm like, I'm definitely taking that one, Chikashawn.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
so here are some, let's talk about some other kinds of self-caring,
Yes. Yes.
savoring activities.
Yes.
So so self-care, again, overused term, but there's so many ways to look at that. I want to talk about, because Michelle Obama has been in the spotlight with her new book, and she's been sharing. She took up knitting during the pandemic, right? And nobody would think of the former first lady as a knitter. Have this kind of like, like we have this idea that maybe there's this kind of personality.
Yes.
Michelle Mama just like totally crashed whatever we might what knitters are. Anybody can be a knitter. Men can be knitters, women, whatever. So the fact that became a way for her to focus in, to be quiet, to be still. And so part of, to me, and Kishan, I want to hear your opinion on this, savoring self-care is about what are the activities that help us to quiet, to settle, to pause, to take a beat, to reflect. What are those activities? And so I'll share one of mine that I've been doing now for 3 years straight. And it really, when I don't do it, I'm like, I could feel that I need to be doing it. And it's a very simple thing, and everybody's heard about it before. It's not new. It's a gratitude journal practice. But I do it at night, and I do it kind of like, I'm a Christian, so I do it kind of like, Lord, I start, Lord, thank you for. And I try to think of 5 very specific things of that happened in that day. And I don't just write the thing. I try to write like, and this made me feel, and like I'm having a conversation with my father and myself as I'm writing down the things that I'm grateful for. And honestly, that simple thing that takes me maybe 5 minutes, quickest 10 minutes tops, maybe. That simple thing is me honoring what happened in my day, me pausing to think, what do I remember from this 24, whatever, how many hours of the day, right? Because of, again, my default is to like, next thing. I have literally forgotten what happened first half of my day already, right? By the evening, I'm like, I don't know what. So if I don't take time to do this practice, there's a loss and a cost, right? So loss and a cost. And for me, the loss is I'm not truly savoring the good parts of my day, and I don't remember them. And was that the loss? That's the loss. The cost is that I am not giving myself the permission to embody something that I found joy from in that day at a different time than the time it actually happened. Right. So me writing it down in the evening is like going back and saying, oh my God, I had this amazing conversation or whatever it might be, or I saw this beautiful, I got this gift, whatever it is that happened. But me remembering it in the evening is a way of savoring the experience so that you could speak to this, Kashawn, my brain cells remember it more.
Yes, it becomes real. Taking it from the idea realm, from the thought realm, and putting it on paper actually actualizes it. It makes it real. It helps you relive it again. The brain doesn't necessarily recognize time. And so every time you think about something joyful, something you're grateful for, it's almost like you
reliving it.
You're reliving it neurochemically over again.
Yes.
And who doesn't want that neurochemical rush of those endorphins, feel good chemicals, or the dopamine that gives you a pleasure hit? It's so healthy for us. Once again, also internally healing for us to replay the good moments. And I love that you use the number 5, Natalie, because it's a 5-to-1 ratio. Our brains typically prioritize negative information. So whatever bad thing happened that day, we can give it 5 times more precedence than anything good that happened. And once again, our brain does that because it's a survival orientation default. Because if you remember what bad happened, that will help you not have it again. Because we don't like pain. We struggle with pain, and it's just natural because it makes the brain think, are we going to live through this?
Exactly.
Yes. The brain responds the same way to a real or perceived threat, a real or perceived negative event. It doesn't have to be something that if we believe it was bad, the brain says it's bad.
And it's back to what you were saying about anxiety earlier. Like when you're walking around with anxiety, the brain is taking all these different things that you're experiencing when you're anxious as, you know what I'm saying? It's it's interpreting that as not a good thing.
Right.
And that's not even true. Yeah.
Something to be hyper vigilant about, something to think a lot about, to overanalyze, so that you can always be scanning your environment, always be thinking 10, 20 steps ahead so that you can keep yourself safe. You can keep yourself, you can control.
Yes, the environment is
in an
And that
environment.
is, I would say that is definitely a default I had growing. I mean, I
Mhm.
feel like that's what I learned to do very well, was to be
Yes.
very hyper vigilant, to be
Yes.
very much like, okay, looking ahead. And I have the
Yes.
strategic strength. So
Yes.
looking ahead and far ahead, like, okay, what are the things that happen? How can I prevent it from happening? And what do I have to do?
Yes.
So always in my head, and this is one of the ways where, again, back to self-care and this topic of savoring,
Mhm.
nothing's wrong with our cognitive skills and abilities. That's part of who we are. But
Yes.
one of the things I want to make sure we emphasize for this conversation and going into all the other conversations around savoring is we are beings that are multifaceted. The cognitive part is one aspect, then
One.
there's the emotional aspect,
Big.
there is the spiritual aspect,
Yes. Huge.
and then there's the actual body, flesh
Woo.
aspect
Yes.
of our being. And
Yes.
so much of us, like the ones who are the smart, savvy, whatever you want to call us, people,
Yes.
we live in our brains. And we
Right.
think that
Always
80% of
cognitive.
whatever of our experience, and when there are all these other aspects to ourselves that we need to
Mm.
honor, the
Yes.
emotions, the spiritual, and the
Yes.
body experiences. So
Yes.
yes,
And I have had to learn how to do that. And ever since I have, I feel better and better with each day. Even when I'm under the weather, as I am today, I am so geeked to be having this conversation. I'm not even feeling that anymore. And
yeah,
I want to also, I know you asked me what my way of quieting
yes.
is, but before I do that, I want to read some more comments. Imani says that I'd really love to savor my morning routine, savor that
Oh,
time that I wake up in the morning, savor the time that I might spend exercising, showering,
yeah,
making my breakfast, and setting my intentions for the day. That
I
is
love
beautiful.
it.
What a great way to go into every day.
Yes.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for
And it's
sharing.
grounding him. It will be so grounding and centering, Imani, to have to start your day like that in a big, big
Mhm.
way.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh, Charlander's here. Hello. She's my college friend. Hello, ladies. I am grateful for this Savor series. Signed up immediately when I saw the word savor. I'm telling you, it's something about that word, Natalie. It was her idea. It's in her book. Don't forget if you want to read more. For the past 3 years, I shifted my career-driven focus to an obsessed, overprotective caregiver of my parents.
Ooh.
So much until I lost focus on my personal goals.
You know
Now,
what?
mhm,
I wanted to pause there for a
yeah,
second. That is a reality for a lot of
it
people, a lot of
is.
women in my circle right now. Like, and I think as women, we kind of default to being caregiver. That's another thing that we
Yes.
do. And
Mhm.
as honorable and great as that is, caregiving, the cost of that is self,
It
because we're
is.
giving to others. And so, if you can finish the comment, I just want that's a really big one.
Yes, it is. And health. The cost is our own health. It is. And so her to finish her comment, now I find myself in a constant battle with taking time to pause and achieve my goals.
Yeah.
My word for this year is reclaim in all
Oh,
caps.
I love reclaim. I love that word too. I
Yes,
love it.
so good. Thank you for
Congratulations.
sharing
Yes,
that.
that's
And
awesome.
you will reclaim that, setting the intention. And also I would add, if you could align an emotion with that word reclaim, because whenever we add
Mm,
emotion to an experience, an intention, our brain prioritizes it. Our brains prioritize emotions, and so it makes it know, it lets our brain know this is important. If there's an emotion attached to
yes.
it, this is important. So reclaim, if you could put an emotion, whatever that would be for you. If it could be love, if it could be in joy, I don't know what that would be, but have some type of internalized sense of the emotion you want to feel as you reclaim, as you call to yourself to reclaim yourself, your time, your
Yeah.
health. It will help your brain prioritize it. And actually, one other thing, making it public in the way that you did makes it so that it's more likely to happen.
Yes.
Likely
Yes.
to,
That
yes,
accountability of just
yes,
putting it out there and
mhm,
acknowledging what it is. Those are
absolutely.
excellent comments. I don't know where we are on time, Kashawn.
We have reached our 33-minute mark. I wanted to just share my way of quieting, and then we can move towards wrapping up and queuing up the
Yeah.
next one. We just plan to do this for 20 to 30 minutes, but this is just exact when Natalie and I meet every other month or whenever that is, we have to literally just in mid sentence. Okay, bye. We just got to go
Because
because
we keep going.
for like this all the time. I love it. I'm so glad I found you and that we connect in this way. It is so
Awesome.
good. Okay, so my way of quieting is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I use guided meditations, and
Mm-hmm.
when I don't have, the other day I left my phone at a friend's house, and so I didn't get it to the next day. So I did my meditation just in silence that day. It was a great exercise for me, but it is a way for me to quiet the mind and get into my body. Because, and here's the thing about meditation: why some people feel like it's difficult or they're unable to do it is because the mind is always going. It's always thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what the mind is designed to do. And so I just notice my thoughts. Oh, I'm thinking about that. Okay. It's a thought. I give it
Mm-hmm.
no priority, no rank, no judgment.
Yeah.
My mind is doing what it does. Now, what is my heart doing right now?
The
How am
body.
I
What is
breathing?
my body doing?
Yeah, am I breathing? Where are my aches right now? What
Yeah.
feels energized, Or having no thoughts at all, just allowing myself to be emptied. And it's been an awesome practice for me. I've been a steady meditator for over 4 years now, and
Oh,
it
wow.
transformed my life. It made me just be more present, more grounded, and it totally exponentially improved my leadership journey. It made me a more insightful leader and a leader who is more connected. So when I'm talking to people, I feel more connected within myself and to the person
Yes.
I'm talking to, that I'm engaging with. So it's
That
been
is, I'm getting goosebumps with that.
woo,
That last part when you said it, that you feel, oh God, I forgot you said you feel more connected, you feel more like it's about the mindfulness of like you spending that time with yourself
myself.
yes, it's a self-care in a big way because it's literally
Yeah.
saying me, I'm taking these how much time to sit
Mhm.
here and just be. And
Just
that, I think
woo,
we should end on this note because it's
yes,
about the being, the self-care. The heart of self is about our beingness. Who are we being in those moments? And that, if that makes,
yes,
who are
yes. I
we,
love it.
right? But like the self-care is about, yeah, it's because we do, our default is not to take time to be. We always about the do. So
Hmm.
the more we take time to be. So for me, some of
Yeah.
that time sometimes is take my walks, especially when the weather's nice, so my walks outside is a way where I could just be,
Be.
experience Natalie, and the more we connect to ourselves, the greater our light
Yes.
shines back
Oh,
to
wow, so
it's
good.
time to shine, girl. Like
Yes,
how
yes.
our light really shine. I know I don't have my copy right here, but
I got
um,
you. I got you. Don't worry.
yeah, that's how our light shines because we are bringing our full brilliance
Oh,
from inside out,
yes.
and we
I
only can do that when we be
when we be. And beingness, what my experience of beingness is connected to what you said, our spiritual selves, our
our
body,
emotional
our
self, and
emotional selves, that being part. And it also is tied very strongly to the right side of our brains, which is the unlimited portion
the
of our brain.
creative.
Yes, it's limitless when we can access that. Also, our prefrontal cortex, right behind our forehead, that gives us vision, that allows us to build connection and have empathy for ourselves and others, that that enlivens and compassionate action towards ourselves and others.
Mm.
Those parts of
Mm.
our brain are activated when we be.
Well, I love that in relation to leadership because one of the things I say in that book, I have a whole section on empathy as a leadership superpower. How
Mm,
can you channel empathy
mhm.
for others if you can't even have it for yourself?
I don't think
Hello.
very well. And we're
No.
talking about caregivers. As Haroldine, she chimed in and said, Charlander Hazel, thank you for sharing your experience as a caregiver. I too am in that stage of life, and oftentimes I forget to see about me. And
Yeah.
Charlander says, yes, I love that. It's real. It's
It's
real.
real. It's
Yes.
real. And it is a phase of life that a lot of people are going through. You ladies are not alone. And it's a hard journey and it's a balancing act, but learning how to walk on that tightrope of that
Mhm,
is
mhm,
going to be the key for you coming out of it,
mhm.
still whole, still healthy and
Yes,
strong and emboldened. Yeah.
whole and healthy, and caregiving and
And
doing
caregiving.
appreciate.
Yes.
Yes, it is possible to do those things.
And
Yes, yes, and I love that phrase. Yes, and
yes,
it.
yes, and
Yes, so good. So we can end on that note. What I'll end on, if I could,
yes.
Natalie, is Charlander's last comment. Awesome, Sister Natalie. Amazon will deliver my book on Sunday, January 8th. I can't wait. Thank you both so much. Love you, Keyshawn. I love you too,
Oh,
Charlander.
thank you so much, Yolanda.
Thank you all for joining us. Haroldine, Charlander, Imani, you have made this conversation so dynamic.
Even richer, yes.
Yes, we're gonna have another one. When is our next one?
In 2 weeks from now, I know I don't. What's my
Yes.
note? The
I have
19th. The 19th.
Yes, January 19th. We are going to be talking about savoring success.
Ooh, it's gonna be good.
It will be. I so hope it will be. So thank you all so much for joining. If you want to submit questions to either of us on LinkedIn, you can totally do that. I can be reached at Be Neurosavvy on Instagram or at Keyshawn Hughes on LinkedIn. I have a Neurosavvy leadership page as well. So those are the 3 ways that you can reach me. How can everyone reach you, Natalie?
Yeah, on LinkedIn, my name is Natalie Jobity. I'm the only one of my kind, so it's very unusual name. On Instagram, I'm at the Unveiled Way.
Yes.
My website is theunveiledway.com, and everything's on there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. I love you mentioning your website. Mine is too. You can reach me at keyshawnhughes.com. And yes, every way to reach me is there as well. So thank you all so much for joining us in our very first conversation. It's so exciting. Natalie, thank you for showing me the way as it relates to savoring. And
we're showing each other the way.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna be speaking over my water now.
Yeah, please do. Yes, it's so powerful. And I hope everyone remembers that, and let us know how it's going for you. Let us know how it's going for you. Okay. Okay. See you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do we have to end?